It's been a good one. Woke up today. Figured I'd try a couple of these sequence breaks and stuff like that I'm seeing about Dread. Which, by the way, people are working real fast on Dread. Tried out a couple. Some more trouble than they were worth. Did finally settle on one that I actually like, without spoiling much why. It's getting the gravity suit early. Makes a lot of the last third quarter of the game easier. If there's one item you can get early that makes a certain boss a lot easier, you're able to just immediately finish its second phase. Didn't try that one. It looked more trouble than it was worth. Quite a few of them did, to be perfectly honest. Except for the one I ended up using, which I don't know exactly how much time it saves, but it's certainly easier. So there's only one real tricky part. Well, I mean, for me, oh god, that made me sound so elitist. I'm getting pretty good at Shine Spark puzzles. Like, something about it's just kind of clicking with Dread. So like, there's a couple of tricky parts if, Shine Sparks are frustrating for you. But I was just gonna do that run. Wanted to get under 8 hours. Well, just messing around. Still playing, hard and fast. Just because it's fun. It's really fun to... Efficiency is fun in Dread. When you can do things efficiently, it feels really good. Like, I'm getting a lot of dopamine from this game. I'm getting a lot more dopamine than I am gray hairs, that's for sure. So I finished up my first run. Or finished up the run I started this morning. Spoiling it. And I'm like, yeah, that's certainly sub 8 hours. I was guessing between, late 5 and early 7. Somewhere in that area. Thought I made me, because my second run was just over 8 hours. I think it was like 8:03 or something like that. Or like 8:07 or, somewhere like that. Not too far past 8. So it would be like really, really simple to get it under 8. 4:13. That's what it was. And I actually went back and replayed the final boss and got it down to 4:07. I was like, well, hell, now I have to go again and get under 4. Because those are the marks. Finishing the game under 8, and finishing the game under 4. So I immediately did it again. And just tore through it. And it just feels so good. It feels so good. A couple of the bosses that gave me trouble the first time around, I got a lot more cleanly. keep in mind, this is in game time. Um, you know, with, and like I said, I'm pretty sure that in-game time doesn't count deaths. Resetting to a checkpoint sets your timer back. So like, in actuality, if it was like a run being submitted, it was a lot closer to 5 hours, if not over 5 hours. And people are already, I've seen runs under 2 hours already. I've seen 240. I think I've seen a 228 or something like that. I mean, not 220, a 128. And it's just like, okay, yeah, you go right ahead, my dude. But yeah, it's just so much fun. Like, I'm almost having to talk myself out of starting up a hard playthrough tomorrow. Because that would be the next step. Beat it on hard, and then, I mean, getting it under 4 shouldn't be any harder, because a lot of wasted time is in the exploration portion. And that, aside from, maybe dying in some more stupid places because not paying attention to enemies, I don't see where it would slow me down too much. It would just be, bearing down and nailing the bosses. And there are some that I'm not worried about. There's one type of repeating boss enemy that I'm not going to spoil, that shows up a couple of times in a couple of different variations. And I can fairly consistently, if I'm not screwing around, either no damage them or only take like 2 hits or something like that, and so that shouldn't be a problem. And I'm noticing I'm really hit and miss with the final boss, because, like I said, second playthrough, first time, it's really clean. My first play today, my first run this morning, it took a couple of times. There were a couple of stupid deaths on my part, not paying attention, just eating attacks, because just stand there and take it, dumbass. That happens sometimes. But when I went back the second time to try and get under 4, because I was so close, I thought I could do it. Just a lot of the boss fight itself and the section after, I could clean up a lot, and I did. Like I said, I did it. I did it in half the time. Basically, of course, on your save file, there's no real new game plus here, so there's no finished save. You just have the end screen with the time on it, and then it goes back to your last save. And when I say I cut it in half, so I think the last save was 352 and change, right at, or I think it was closer to 353. And I split the difference. So whatever my original end time was, I cut it down to half of what it was past 353, and got so close. And that's why I had to go back and do it again, because I was like, oh, this is like all I have to do is get lost less and plan ahead a little more. Like, one thing about sequence breaking like I did was I didn't unblock a route before. Like, basically I should have unblocked my route forward before going back and out of the way, and since I didn't do that, I hit a couple of dead ends trying to get into the last area, because I'd just forgotten that I'd done it out of order. Anyhow, yeah, it felt good. That 314, I think it was, felt really good. I figured I was going to be a little closer to the fore end of it, but I cut out 50 minutes, I think. So between my first run of the day and my second one, I saved 50 minutes. That's pretty cool. Anyhow, I'm tired. I will catch you all tomorrow. Good night.